Man, I've been having that itch really bad, and I gotta scratch it by fishing some creek fishing. And I've been doing a lot of kayaking and finding fish in bigger waters, but I'm so ready to go find some fish in these smaller waters. And yeah, it's January, and do I think I'm gonna catch anything? I don't know. Maybe this creek, I have caught some fish in the winter before, so maybe I can catch some fish. I got a few different lures. I'm taking my bass setup, so I'm going with my medium, 6'9" medium, extra fast, 10-pound braid on that's a Shimano Mirabelle reel. I may throw some bigger lures, maybe some spinner baits or some different stuff like that. So let's go in here. Let's get in here, this bigger stream, and hopefully we can find some fish. Oh, it's a fish. Yeah! The rock bass. Man, that's a soft bite. There we go. I was hoping these guys would be a little bit active. There's a lot of rock bass in here. I'm like, please give me at least a rock bass or two today. He's a little one, but a lot of times when there's one, there's more. I fished that upper part. Like that current up there, that's a really good place, like in the summertime usually, but in the winter I think a lot of the fish are back in the back of this pool, so I'm trying to fish the back of this pool kind of slow. Maybe I'll get a few more out of there. Rock bass. All right, let's just go right back over here, and there's like a current going down that side. It's kind of calm right here on this side, and kind of deep. I mean, for this creek, maybe 3 foot deep, something like that out there. Maybe 4 foot, I don't know. Oh, another one. Wow, that's a nicer one. That was probably 5 or 6 casts, but it's probably been like 5 minutes. I'm like making a cast and I'm just barely dragging it in. That's a better one. I just barely picked up, felt some weight, and I set the hook on him. Not really a bite or anything, but I just felt a little bit of weight on there. Rock bass number 2. Oh, that was a thump. Felt that one. Dude, we're on him now. That's cool. 3 from this, like, right here in front of me. A lot of times you catch one, you catch a few. And in January, when you're creek fishing, you're just usually happy to get anything. Number 3. All right, I'm going right back here. I'm just gonna keep making the same cast, like right to the edge where that current is, about halfway through the creek. And I'm kind of just dragging it back this way. Just, oh, there's one on already. Okay, they are there. I don't know what about that little spot is, but rock bass do like to be, you know, together a lot, or they'll find a place where they're, it must be just a perfect little deep hole. Didn't take me long to find it because kind of fished a couple spots. I've only been out here for really not long at all, and this is way more fish than I thought I'd catch the whole day. And we got the interstate right there, so it's a little noisy, not the easy peaceful nature sound, but this is a really nice, good sized creek that has several creeks kind of flow together to make it up. And it's just, if it's got this many rock bass in here, that means it's got good water quality. Oh, there's one. Look at that. I got a light little, is he on there? It's something really small. I just barely pulled on it. I think he's off. No, he's still on there. I got it. He was barely, it was a tiny, yeah, he's a tiny one. I just felt these like light little taps. He's trying to eat that thing. There's, oh yeah, get in here. Nice bass. And it's a largemouth. Wasn't sure there'd be any largemouth active right now, but you know what? They are. Not too active. It was pretty soft. I think he hit it twice. 11, 12-inch largemouth. Good creek bass. Definitely kind of the fish we're looking for today. Anything, especially any kind of bass. We're really looking for any kind of bass. This lure is holding up really well. I think it's the first time I've used it. I'm using my bass setup, and I'm going for bass. Well, let's put another lure on there. I use that bright Yum dingers, like pink and orange all the time, and I found these are Yum Craw bugs, 2.5 inch, and I don't think I've really used this size, but it's 2.5 inches, a perfect, like, if you're looking for bass and a creek bass, I mean lake or anything, but that 2.5 inches is a perfect size to get these, you know, for these fish to get it in their mouth. Rock bass also, but they're weird shaped. They're like a hollow body to it, so it's hollow through there. I really wasn't sure. I really don't know what these are used for or how you're supposed to use them, but this is a 1/16 ounce jig head, and there's like a little hole right there, and it's got some meat to the tail, so I was just going right through the tail to bring it around, and then I'm just pushing it through like the head. It's not very thick there, and then just stabbing it back into itself, and it's held up very well. And I always like, I'm always looking for weedless. I want to fish everything I can weedless, that way I can throw it out in that brush pile like I just did, let it sink to the bottom, drag it back, and if something's down there, like sitting there looking at it, especially in this cold water, you kind of, a lot of times you got to drag that lure right in front of their face, let them grab it. Oh, yeah, I got it. I thought he was a giant. He started taking off with it. There's another largemouth. Well, he was pretty aggressive. It's cold though. Where's that a spot? No tooth patch. Yep, little largemouth. So once again, like things that I try to learn, because I want to learn even creek fishing and like these small river. This is, I don't know if I'd call this is a creek, but it's like almost the size of a river. It depends on where you come from. I would call this a big creek. If I'm talking to a person, like, this is a big creek. A big creek's something you can kayak. But in the summer and even spring, sometimes the fish are going to be up there feeding in that current where it's coming in. Got a little break right here. Like, that's going to be where the fish are at. I'm making casts up there just to see if there's anything there. But it's like all the fish are going to be coming from the back of the pool, like where the current has got a lot of slack and it's a lot of calmer area, where I feel like in the summertime, like, you're hardly going to catch anything there. They're usually up there eating, and that's just typical fishing. But if you do get out, oh, there's another one. Oh, that was a bite, something little. Whenever you do get out here, And if you fish in wintertime or it's really cold, it's just the fish are just definitely doing different things, being a lot slower. Something a little, look at that. I don't know if you can see my rod. I got like it's something just like peck, like a sunfish pecking at it. Oh, I hooked him. See, that was right where that largemouth was. There's another rock bass. Good thing there's rock bass in here, because I'm glad they eat during the winter. But yeah, like right off the current, like this little calmer deep pool. Oh, there's no one. Man, it's 2 rock bass in a row. Little guys. Where's the bigger rock bass at? I know there's giants in here. I've caught some. This is probably my creek where I've caught the biggest rock bass I've ever caught. But I'm glad there's some action. This has been a lot better than I thought it was gonna go. That's 100% true. Oh, I didn't know that was another fish. He was swimming upstream. Dude, this little hole's loaded. Oh, there's one. These just little tugs. They just like grab it and they just like try to eat it right where they're at. They don't like take off with it hardly. Like the bass, they'll grab it and take off with it. These guys are just like sitting there chewing on it. Come on. There goes that. Well, here's a little update. I think I'm out here right at 2 hours, just snagged and broke off. So that's the first time I've lost my lure today, which is actually pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw a spinnerbait on, and that's another reason I carried my bass rod. It's a medium heavy, or it's a medium, but it's an extra fast tip. I can still throw these lures, and it's got enough power to hook set them. And if I'm not gonna tie another leader line on, I'm just gonna go straight braid to my spinnerbait. I don't know if I'm gonna get anything, but if I do, it could be a good fish that hits it. So I'm gonna kind of cast it for a while, work my way back upstream, and then at the end, I'm gonna, if I ain't caught anything, I'll change back to what I was using and fish a couple deep holes up past my truck. There it is. There it is. Finally got me another one. Had some little bites. I bet I spent an hour fishing. Hadn't got another one until I came back to the hole where I caught them at earlier. I'll definitely take a day like that in January. Good thing those rock bass showed up. But I'll leave you with a few tips that I think that are valid. I don't know. I actually really haven't winter creek fished but maybe 2 or 3 years, so I do a lot of creek fishing, but I don't know a lot of people that do a lot of winter creek fishing, so I kind of went out for bass. Here's some things that I think help me out and will help you most anytime, but especially in the winter. First off, I think stable conditions and water conditions, like not after a rain, so it hasn't rained for several days, the water flow, it gets back normal. Now around here we get rain, and probably all over the place you get a lot of rain through the winter, so the creeks aren't always stable. They're up all the time, muddy a lot throughout the winter. So if it's been, you know, maybe a week or two, no rain, the water's stable, also the weather hasn't been crazy, like it's been maybe in the 40s or 50s. We've had a few kind of warm days, got up to 60 a couple days ago. Today was kind of the 40s, but the last few days kind of had been warm. So stable water and like stable weather conditions. Another one for me is I have to like fish the areas opposite of what I normally do in the summer. If I'm floating through here in a kayak, or if I come here, you know, bank fishing, I'm hitting the current, and like the first, you know, current break off of like fast current or off of a little waterfall or shoal. In the winter, I'm like, you can fish those areas and you might get a fish there. I'm not saying you're not, but a lot of times those fish are further back. Find the deepest pools and the slowest water. And usually that's the areas I overlook. I'm not even gonna fish in the summer, but it seems to be where the fish will be at. I don't even think they're looking to eat, but if you just, you know, throw something in front of them, they might grab it. And the last thing is just fish those areas slow on the bottom, get a lure down there on the bottom, in around a lot of structure. Those fish, you know, they're wintering, they're not trying to put a lot of effort in. They're holding tight to the bottom or a log or a rock pile, and they're just sitting there. Make sure your lure falls down there and sits in front of them, or just drag it across in front of them. Well, I hope somebody enjoyed this and maybe help somebody out. Thanks for watching.